Hello, everyone, and welcome to our deep stretch session today. I'm going to get our tunes going. If it's too loud and you can't hear my voice at any point, please let me know. And we are going to start seated today. So go ahead and get into whatever seated position feels most comfortable for you. For me, that's cross-legged. Feel free to take your options. And sit nice and tall. And let's just get tuned into our breath for a moment. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And trying to keep that with us as we go through the entire stretch flow today. And let's start to add some movement through the spine. So we're gonna, from our seated position, move into a cat-cow. So take a nice big inhale, sitting tall, and then on your exhale, push your spine back, tuck your chin to your chest, push your palms down on your lap if they're there, or if they're by your sides, that's fine too. And then when you need to inhale, you will inhale as you push your belly forward, open your chest, open your collarbone wide, nose forward, shoulders push back. And go through this with your breath. So when your spine goes back, you exhale into cat. And when your belly and chest open forward, you're inhaling for cow. Just getting a little movement in here through the core. Moving at your pace with your breath. And when you're ready, you can wiggle that out and sit nice and tall, reset. And we're gonna take it to side body stretches. So stick with your right hand down by your side, and then I want you to reach the right hand out to the side and up over the head, up and over the left, to the left. And then you'll reset, we'll switch sides. Keeping it dynamic for now as we warm up the muscles. So left hand reaches out to the side, up over the head to the right, and let it float back down, reset. Keep going, alternating between the two. Think about exhaling as you reach nice and long and inhaling as you reset. Opening up through the side body now. Maybe you feel a stretch from the pinky all the way down through the arm, past the ribs and the hip. Making it your pace, moving with your breath. And when you're ready, reset through center. Let your arms hang down long by your side. We're gonna take it to a seated twist. So you can put your hands wherever it makes sense for you to help you get into your twist. So with me in a cross-legged position, I'm gonna take my right hand and reach it by my right hip, left hand towards the outside of my right knee or thigh, and twist my chest, my nose to the right, keeping my hips forward. And then I'm gonna unwind, come center, switch sides. Left hand outside left hip, right hand outside of the left knee or thigh, twisting the chest and the nose to the left, coming back to center and continue switching. So again, to our deep stretches later. Think about it. And keep breathing as you go through. And next time, come back through center, just get into your comfortable seated position. Arms can stay long down by your sides here. We're gonna do shoulder circles. So shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, then let them draw back. Drop them down away from your ears, nice and relaxed, and then push them forward and round it out to make a nice circular motion. Your arms can stay down heavy with this, just working on shoulder mobility, and also feel that as well. And reverse directions, shoulders shrug up, forward, down, and then back. Releasing any tension every time you go through. And go ahead and release that. Let the shoulders hang heavy down away from the ears, and we will take it to neck circles. So I like to have my hands on my lap here. You can put yours there if you'd like as well. And for our neck circles, keeping your shoulders relaxed and down, I want you to draw your right ear towards your right shoulder. Does not have to touch. Just let the head tip to the right until you feel a stretch through the left side of the neck. Then I want you to roll the chin forward, tuck the chin down, nose points down, stretch through the back of the neck. Then continue your circular motion, left ear towards left shoulder. Again, shoulder stays relaxed. Ear just dips that way to feel a stretch through the right side of the neck. And then instead of tilting your head back, I want you to think about energetically lifting your chin towards the ceiling and then pushing it forward to get a nice stretch through the front of the neck so that we can avoid any crunching or uncomfortable feelings in the back of the head. And just roll through that motion. Right ear, right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder, chin energetically up and forward. And keep rolling through at your own pace. Keep those shoulders relaxed the entire time. And keep your breath going. You get to choose your range of motion for everything we're doing today. You can choose how big or how small everything is to suit what feels best in your body. Tune in, and if you need to change anything, feel free. Go ahead and reverse directions. So now we'll go from left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder, chin energetically up and forward. When you're ready, come back through center. And then I want you to sit nice and tall, and we're gonna extend our legs in front of us long and straight, or as straight as you can get them. So legs are extended in front of the hips. Then I want you to sit here nice and tall, pull the crown of your head towards the ceiling, and then I want you to flex your feet and then point your toes. You choose your pace here, just flexing and pointing. Every time you flex your feet, you'll feel a deeper stretch through the backs of the legs. And every time you point your toes, you'll feel a little bit of relief through the back side of the body and a little bit more of a stretch through the front side of the legs. Flexing and pointing, you can sit up tall and just breathe. Maybe you feel some good ankle mobility here. Maybe you roll out through the ankle joint a little bit as you flex and point the toes. And when you're ready, sit nice and tall. We're gonna take it into a little forward fold flow. So whether your feet feel better flexed or pointed, you can pick and kind of stick with that or change as we go. Arms can start by your side. Take a nice big inhale as you reach your arms out to the side and up over your head. And as you exhale, reach towards your toes as close as you can. And then on your next inhale, I want you to unleash for half of it. So let those hands fall or slide to the knees. And then I want you to reach again towards the toes. And then come all the way back to sitting nice and tall, hands by your side. Inhale, arms reach out to the side, up over the head. Exhale, forward fold, hands towards the toes. Inhale, Hands slide towards your knees or your thighs. Exhale, reach towards the toes once again. Next breath cycle, reset, sitting tall. We go through again. Arms by your sides. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, hinge forward, reaching for your toes. Inhale, hands slide up the legs to the knees or thighs. Exhale, you get back into your folds. And go ahead and release. Nice job. That has taken us through our warm-up. If there's anything else that you feel you need to wiggle out, feel free to do that. We're gonna get into our deeper stretches now. So we're gonna get into a tabletop position. So I want you to have your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Take a nice deep breath and start with a flat back, head in line with your spine. Then I want you to take your knees a little bit wider than your hips. Just enough so that they're just slightly wider than the hips. And then your big toes can come together to touch behind you. Then I want you to rock back into a child's pose rest position. So send your bottom back towards your heels and then bring your hands forward towards the ground. So your chest, or hands forward, so your chest and forehead come towards the ground. And then I want you to rock through this movement, coming back to your tabletop. And then rock back into your child's pose. So you can kind of make this movement what it needs to be for you. Coming into your tabletop, hands underneath shoulders. Knees can stay wider than the hips the entire time. And then sink the tailbone back towards the heels. Reach the fingertips forward. Resetting. Taking it at your pace. And when you're ready, we're going to come to a standard tabletop position. So I want your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. I want your back to be flat and your head in line with your spine. We are going to thread the needle. So I want you to take your right arm, reach it out wide to the right to a T. And then if it feels good, you can rotate and lift that right hand towards the ceiling, opening your chest and your nose towards the right. And then I want you to reach that right hand and thread it between the left arm and left thigh, bringing your right shoulder towards the ground, right ear towards the ground. Keep your hips high here. And the outside of your right arm rests on the ground, right palm faces up, right fingertips reaching over to the left. Maybe you box out your left arm a little bit so left palm stays on the ground. Maybe take a bend in that left elbow. Try to get that left shoulder stacked over the right as much as you can. Feel the stretch open through the back of the right shoulder blade or separation between the two shoulder blades. With your hips high, you might feel a stretch through the back of the glutes, outside of the hips slightly with this twist. You're breathing here. Make any adjustments to let this stretch fit what you need it to. When you're ready, come back through center, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, tabletop position. We're going to take it to the left side. The left arm reaches long to a T outside the left shoulder. You have the option to lift that left arm towards the ceiling, open your chest and your nose to the left, and we thread the needle. Left arm reaches between the right arm and thigh, coming down towards the ground. Let the left shoulder come as close to the ground as you can. Maybe the left ear rests on the ground. The back of the left arm is on the ground. The palm faces up. The left fingertips are reaching to the right. Your hips stay high, feeling a stretch through the back of the glutes. Maybe you have a bend in your right arm now to help support you. Right palm stays on the ground. Feel the opening in the space between the shoulder blades. Release. Breathe. Find that the more your right shoulder kind of stacks over that left shoulder, or the more your left shoulder pulls across the body, you'll feel more of a stretch through the back of the shoulder blades. Play around with it a little bit. Find your sweet spot. And go ahead and release back to your tabletop position. We're going to take it into puppy pose next. So puppy pose, I want your hips to stay high. So from your tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Hips stay high. Walk your hands forward, bringing your chest and forehead towards the ground, just like we would with child's pose or rest position. So arms reaching long, palms down, fingertips reaching forward, tailbone reaching to the sky, fingertips reaching long in front of you. Feel the stretch through the back, the upper back, through maybe the hamstrings, the glutes. This is puppy pose because this is the position that dogs might make when they want to play, or maybe they are doing a big stretch after a nap. Just breathe. And when you're ready, slowly sink your tailbone down to transition to a child's pose rest position. So maybe you need to get your knees a little bit wider to make room for your belly and hips to come down. Sink your bottom back towards your heels. Continue to reach those fingertips forward. Child's pose rest position. So I want you to think about pulling the tailbone down and back as you reach the fingertips forward with lots of energy, stretching and opening through the spine. Maybe you feel a stretch through the inner thighs, outer thighs, hips. Maybe you feel a stretch through the back of the upper arm, the triceps as you reach forward. And when you're ready, you can slowly walk your hands back towards your body and sit in a comfortable position. For me, that's going to be cross-legged once again. You can choose what it is for you. We're going to continue opening through the spine and shoulders by taking an adapted eagle arms pose. So I want you to cross your hands to opposite shoulders. So right hand to right shoulder, left hand to left shoulder. And from here, I want you to lift the elbows as high as you can, keeping your hands to opposite shoulders. Let your shoulders separate from each other. And breathe here. With the hands on the shoulders, think about pulling the elbows forward and up. And release, shake out your arms. Now, switch which hand is crossing on top. So cross your hands to opposite shoulders once again. Switch which hand is on top, or which arm is crossing on top. And we go through it again. Lift the elbows up towards the ceiling, pull them energetically forward, and feel the space between the shoulder blades open up. And go ahead and release your arms down long by your sides. We are gonna change the focus from spine and shoulders to a little bit more lower body here. So go ahead and sit nice and tall, and I want you to extend your legs in front of you for a forward fold. Sit nice and tall, hands by your sides. Lift through the crown of your head, and take a nice big inhale as you reach your arms out to the side and up over the head. And exhale, forward fold. Reach your fingertips towards your toes. Now, when I say towards your toes, maybe you do touch the toes, maybe your hands fall among the shins, the ankles, whatever's going to work for you works for me. Find your best stretch. Folding yourself in half, stretching and elongating through the back side of the body. When you're reaching forward, sometimes our initial reaction is to shrug our shoulders up towards our ears. Actively remind yourself to let your shoulders drop down and back, let the shoulder blades separate, and take deep breaths. Maybe having your legs straight doesn't feel great for you. Maybe you take a soft bend in your knees, and that will draw your feet a little bit closer to you, shortening the distance to your toes. And you can reach from there. Find what's going to work for you. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and release that. Sit nice and tall, and we're going to take it to a wide-legged forward fold. So I want you to separate your feet. I want you to bring your legs a little bit wider than the hips. And you can either flex or point your toes. Flexing your feet is going to give you a little bit more of an intense stretch. And walk your hands forward, center in front of the chest. Walking them along the ground. And feeling that stretch intensify through the backs of the legs. Maybe you point and flex your toes here as well. Maybe you just pick one and stick with it. So you are getting the stretch through the backs of the legs with this forward fold. But with the hips, with the legs wider than the hips, we're changing that stretch a little bit, adding a stretch through the inner and outer thighs and opening through the hips. So embrace that change, that addition to our stretch here. Tune back into your shoulders. Are they dropped down and back? Are they relaxed? The further forward you hinge or reach, the more intense the stretch is going to become. And when you're ready, you can walk your hands back towards you, and we're going to take it to a half butterfly. So I want you to keep your right leg where it is, nice and wide, straight. And then I want you to take the bottom of your left foot and touch it to the inside of your right thigh. So left knee ends up being bent out to the left. Right hand, I want you to rest your right arm down by your right leg, and then I want your left hand to start outside your left hip. And then on a nice big inhale, I want you to reach up and out overhead. So our left arm reaches up and over to the right. I want you to point your nose towards your left elbow. I want you to feel the stretch through the side body here. So you'll feel a stretch from left pinky all the way through the left arm, past the shoulder, through the ribs, and through the left hip. With that left knee still in that half butterfly, really try to drive that knee towards the ground to open that stretch further through the hip and side body. The focus here is left side body with a little bonus back of the right leg. And when you're ready, you're going to rotate. So keep your legs where they are. Reach both hands now towards your right toes. Nose points towards your right knee. And now I want your shoulders level with each other. So now, while our legs stayed in the same position, our upper body moved, which changes the focus from the left side body to the back of the right leg with a little bit of left side body on the side. So As you reach both hands towards your right toes, feel that stretch through the back of the right leg. Relax those shoulders down and back. Let your left knee hang heavy out to the left, so you still feel that bonus stretch outside of the left hip. Still feeling an extra stretch through the left side body because the left side has to reach a little bit further than the right to get towards those right toes. And go ahead and release, sit up nice and tall. And then I want you to take your right leg and put it directly in front of the right hip, nice and long. And then take your left knee and hug it in towards your chest, left foot flat to the inside of the right thigh, or you can pick up the left foot and set the left foot down flat outside of the right thigh. That choice is yours. From here, wherever you're at, I want you to twist your chest to the left. So you can use your right arm to hug that left knee in closer to your chest. You can take your left hand, reach it behind you to help twist the chest and open the nose to the left, a seated twist. This is gonna invite that stretch through the left glutes. Breathe. And go ahead and unwind. We're gonna come back to our butterfly. So take the bottoms of your feet, touch them together in front of your hips, knees fall out to each side into a butterfly. So in our butterfly, the wider our knees fall out to the sides, the more we'll open up through the inner thighs and the hips. The more you hinge forward at the waist, the more you'll feel this opening through the inner thighs, maybe a stretch through the low back. And the more you pull your heels towards your hips, the more of a stretch you'll feel. So play around with it with your butterfly here. Maybe you rest your forearms on your inner thighs gently, not forcing anything. Just breathing. Take it back to your breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. And think about with every exhale, you're just releasing a little bit deeper, giving the muscles permission to release and relax. A lot of times they'll want to hold on for dear life. Let them release. Feel that relief.
Tara?
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Did I miss the left side, or are we just go on the right side, then in the butterfly, and then we'll do the left side?
Yep, we're gonna do the left side after this butterfly.
Okay, I ran to the other room real quick. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss it.
Yeah, you didn't miss it. You're right on track. Sorry, we lost our music. We'll get it. When you're ready, slowly unwind. This time, keep your right leg where it is. Left leg is gonna go straight and a little bit wider than the left hip. And the bottom of the right foot touches the inside of the left thigh in our half butterfly. Take your left hand, left arm go long down by the left leg. Right hand starts by your right hip. Reach your right arm out to the side, up over the head to the left. Something's wrong with the music today, folks. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. Technology at its finest. But we're in our side stretch. Elongating through the right side of the body, feeling that stretch through the right side from the right pinky all the way through the right arm, shoulder, ribs, hip. just breathing. Maybe point your nose up towards the right elbow. So we're getting a primary stretch through the right side body, secondary stretch through the back of the left leg. And when you're ready, we'll rotate. We'll switch our upper body. So lower body stays where it is. Now I want both hands to reach towards the left toes. Square out your shoulders so that they're all now level with each other. Nose points to the left knee. Now we're taking that stretch to the back of the left leg, secondary stretch through the right side body. Let the right knee hang heavy down to the right to open up through the right hip as we reach towards the left toes. Let the shoulder blades relax down and back. And when you're ready, go ahead and release that. We're gonna come, stay in your seated position. I want the left leg to come directly along in front of the left hip this time, and hug your right knee to your chest to start. The right foot can come flat to the inside of the left thigh, or you can pick the foot up and bring it to the outside of the left thigh. That choice is yours. Then we're gonna take it to a bit of a twist. So you can use your left hand to hug that right knee in towards the chest deeper, and reach your right hand behind you to allow your chest and nose to open to the right. Breathe. Opening the stretch, inviting it through the right side glute here. And when you're ready, you can release that. Send both legs long, or you can take both feet flat as you roll back to your back. I'm gonna get a drink before I roll back. From your lying position, I want you to take your feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. We're gonna open up through the hips and glutes a little bit more here. So we're gonna take it to a reclined figure four or reclined pigeon. So start with your right knee, pull your right knee towards your chest, and then I want the outside of your right ankle to rest on top of the left thigh. So that means that the right knee has to point out to the right for the outside of the ankle to rest on top of the left thigh. You can stay here with an intense hip opening glute stretch, or keeping your legs in the same position, you can hug your hands behind your left thigh, bringing it closer to you, which is going to make the stretch intense as the hip will have to open, or right knee will have to point further to the right. We lost the music again. I don't know what's going on with the internet today, friends. Breathing here, embracing the opening of the right glute. Maybe you flex your feet, feel a change through the stretch. It's really intense, so if you need to release and come back into it, feel free. When you're ready, I want you to release both feet flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. You can have your hands pushed down into the ground outside the hips, or you can bring them outside the shoulders to a T shape and push the palms down. And we are gonna let our knees fall right and left, windshield wipering through the hip socket. So let the knees fall right, only as far as feels good to you. They don't have to touch the ground. And then let the knees fall left. So as your knees come through center, the bottoms of the feet are flat to the floor. As they roll right, you have the right edges of the feet on the ground. As they roll left, the left edges of the feet on the ground. Just rolling through, giving yourself a little massage through the glutes, rolling through the hips. And when you're ready, come back through center. We're going to take it to the other side. So feet are going to start flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Then take your left knee towards your chest. And then I want the outside of the left ankle to rest on top of the right thigh. From here, you have the option to take your hands, hug them behind the right thigh, in close to the chest. Flex your feet. Reclined pigeon or reclined figure four stretch. Opening through the left hip and glute is the target. Taking breaths here, thinking about creating space for more release with every exhale. And when you're ready, bring both feet back flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Take your hands either outside your hips or your shoulders, and we'll roll through the hip sockets once again, letting the knees fall right and left. If it feels good to have your hip peel off the ground as you roll, you may keep your shoulders both glued to the ground. It's going to allow us to get a stretch through the spine as well as rolling through the hips. Taking it at your pace, your range. And when you're ready, feet come flat to the floor, knees to the ceiling. When you are feeling ready for it, hug your right knee into your chest. If it feels good to leave your left foot planted, you can. If it feels good to extend it long on the ground, you can. Leaving the left foot planted is going to provide more support through the low back. Extending the leg long is going to open a stretch through the front of the left hip. So you choose your benefit for today. And with that right knee hugging in towards your chest, you're starting to open up through the back of the right glute and low back. On your next exhale, if it feels good, you can open your right knee or just keep hugging your right knee to your chest, but open it outside the rib cage just slightly. Play with it a little bit, find your range, just to feel a stretch through the inner thigh and a little bit through the outer hip with the knee outside the rib cage. Breathing nice and deep here. Maybe it feels good to do some ankle circles with your right ankle while it's free. And we'll twist. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Guide the right knee up and over towards the left side of the body. So the right hip will peel off the ground. Right knee doesn't have to go all the way to the left, just as far as feels good to you. Right arm goes long to a T shape outside the right shoulder, nose points right. Glute stretch, spine twist, shoulder and chest opener. Breathe. When you're ready, you can roll back through center. Give both knees a hug towards your chest. And when you're here, maybe give yourself a rock side to side. And we switch sides. Hug your left knee to your chest. Right foot can either go flat to the floor or you can extend it nice and long on the ground. Choosing your options. Taking a couple deep breaths as we begin to open up through the back of the left glute and low back. If it feels good, you can start some ankle circles here. And on your next exhale, invite the leg to come just slightly wider than the rib cage, enough to feel the stretch open through the inner thigh, a little opening through the outer hip. And we'll take it to our twist. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Guide the left knee up and over towards the right side of the body, only going as far as feels good to you. Left hip can peel off the ground if that feels right. Left arm goes long to a T outside the left shoulder, nose points left. Spine twist, glute stretch, shoulder and chest opener. When you're ready, you can release, hug both knees to your chest, give yourself a little rock if it feels good. Massage out the spine a little bit. And I want you to extend your legs long. If it feels better and your low back to have your feet planted flat, a bend in your knees, you can choose that for yourself. That's totally fine. I want you to walk your feet over towards the right. And then I want you to reach your hands overhead and let the hands reach up and over to the right slightly. So we're making a banana pose or a crescent shape as we lie on our back. So fingers reaching up and to the right behind the head, feet to the right as well, whether your legs are straight or bent. And with this, we're just feeling a little side body elongation through the left side. And come back through center and we switch sides. Feet and hands reach long away from the body to the left, just a few inches, lengthening through the right side body. And when you're ready, you can come back through center and hug your knees to your chest. From here, we're going to go into your version of happy baby. So for you, that could mean hugging your knees to your chest. That could mean hugging your knees to your chest, but bringing them wide, more towards shoulders or outside of rib cage. Flex your feet. Or that could mean keeping those knees wide towards the shoulders, outside the rib cage, and then trying to plant the bottoms of the feet or pull the bottoms of the feet to face towards the ceiling, keeping those knees bent. Maybe you hug the back of your thighs in closer to you, or maybe you reach your hands to the inside or the outside of the feet and pull those feet in closer towards you, driving the knees outside the frame of the body and down towards the ground, opening up through the inner thighs, back of the thighs, glutes, hips. Maybe you add a rock side to side, forward, back here. Maybe you don't. This is called happy baby. Imagine you are a newborn and you just discovered that you have feet. That is what we are emulating. Letting it be what it needs to be for you. If you need to come out of it and then get back into it, you can. And when you're ready, you can hug your knees to your chest. Give yourself a little hug to reset. And then I want you to find your happy place. So find a position that's comfortable for you. So that could be lying down, that could be sitting, that could be whatever you want it to be. Make your way there while I just get a sip of water and tune into your breath. Breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And we're going to go into a muscle relaxation exercise. So I'm going to name a body part. You're going to put your focus there. And you're going to tense and release those muscles as we go through the full scan. So let's turn your attention to your toes. Wiggle your toes. Scrunch your toes in towards the feet. Spread them apart. Move them in whatever ways you can imagine. Using all the muscles we can. The ligaments, the joints. And release that as we move to the arch of the foot and to the ankle. Roll your ankles, flex and point your feet. Scrunch your feet like you're trying to close it like a fist. Spread it wide. And then release. Feel relief come through the feet and ankles as we move to the lower legs, to your calves. The back of the lower legs, the shins, the front of the lower legs. Think about contracting and squeezing those muscles, using all the energy you have left. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, we move up the leg to the thighs and the hamstring. I want you to squeeze through the thighs, squeeze through the backs of the legs. Making these big movements, using your energy, squeezing, tensing the muscles, and releasing. Take a nice big inhale, and on your next exhale, you release. We move to the hips, the glutes, squeezing and releasing. Releasing that energy. Noticing the calmness and the stillness coming through the body parts you've already gone through as the stillness floats up through the toes, the ankles, the legs. And on your next exhale, you release the glutes. We take it to the core. You're going to strengthen through the abs, squeeze the abs, pull your belly button into your spine, tense the abs, push the low back, down and back, wherever you're at. On your next exhale, we take it to the chest and the upper back. letting stillness come among the abs, the low back, and we tense through the muscles in our chest. We squeeze our shoulder blades, tensing and releasing. Taking a nice big deep breath. On your exhale, our attention comes to our fingers. Wiggling your fingers, closing your hand into a fist, stretching your hand nice and wide, fingertips separate from each other. Moving them in all sorts of directions. Crossing fingers over the others. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, we move to the wrists. Rolling the wrists in circles, big and small. Holding the hand forward and backward. Tensing in any way you can find. On the next inhale and exhale, release. We take it to the forearms. Trying to tune into the forearms. Tense them in any way you know how. Feeling the lightness of the rest of your body. Big inhale. On the next exhale, we take it to the upper arm. So that's biceps, triceps, upper arm, flexing, releasing, squeezing. Inhale. And on your next exhale, you feel relief flood through as you take your focus to your shoulders. Rolling your shoulders forward and back, tensing them, releasing them, shrugging them, squeezing them. Nice big inhale. And on your exhale, you take it to your neck. Being mindful here as you move through some neck mobility, tensing through the neck muscles. Another inhale. And the exhale, we take it to the head. Maybe you make funny faces. Maybe you move your jaw. Maybe you squeeze your eyes shut. Maybe you raise your eyebrows. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, release everything. Letting calmness take over the body, embracing the stillness. Feeling almost as if you're floating. Feeling light as a feather. As all the tension dissipate with every exhale. Letting the muscles relax, release. The jaw releases, the shoulders are released. Letting thoughts float away with every exhale. Bring the focus back to your breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. A couple more deep breaths for yourself. And bringing awareness back to your body, back to the space you're in. Thank you so much for joining us for our deep stretch today. I'm going to stop our recording. I know it's so abrasive, I'm sorry.